Have you noticed anything about, like, raising kids on a more natural diet?
Well, I mean, my son, I really am impressed. Like, he's so just healthy. Same
Mm-hmm.
for my daughter. Now, my daughter is definitely one of my like testimony stories.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she was diagnosed with asthma at 1 years old.
Wow.
She was actually hospitalized
Oh.
and after her first birthday for 9 days.
Oh, that's really scary.
Yeah, it was very, very scary. She couldn't breathe and she couldn't catch her breath. So my daughter, after that, was hospital, like going to the emergency room at least once a year, at least, for her asthma, uncontrolled asthma.
Wow.
In her 4th year of life, I discovered cedarwood oil, and that is something that really changed the game for her. I'll never forget. She was having an attack. I had her on her nebulizer, and she's wheezing, and I'm doing everything I can for her, but for whatever reason, normally everything is put away. There's this one essential oil sitting on top of the counter, and I decide to look at it. I'm walking past, and I look at the oil, and it has like a rhyme on the oil,
Mm-hmm.
and it says, "In times of respiratory distress, rub this on your chest."
Wow.
I'm like, okay. And take it up to my daughter, and I rub it on her chest.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I mean, less than an hour, maybe 20 minutes, she comes downstairs. And she's been laying around all day. She's on the nebulizer. She didn't took the thing off. She didn't stretch. She didn't came downstairs. She's like, I feel better. I'm like,
That's
are you for real? Like it's stuff is this simple. It can be this easy. You mean everything we need is really, really here.
mm-hmm.
There's a cedarwood tree growing somewhere right now. And all we needed was the oil.
Welcome back to Prospero's Pit. Today we got a really special guest, Rosie Warren-Thomas of Nature Made Me. Thanks for being here in the late night bookstore.
You know, this is a little late for me,
Yeah.
but I made it. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm excited. I'm
Uh,
super excited to be at Prospero's, to be here with you.
yeah.
I love books. I can't believe I haven't been here before.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty shocked by that, actually. This feels like I'm really excited about, introducing you to Prosperos, introducing you to her. I feel like the bookstore is her, and she's
Well,
I don't know.
hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Prospero.
Yeah, she's a Scorpio. I don't know if you're into that kind of stuff,
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah. So she might bite back. Bite back. I don't know, but so I really wanted to get you on here because the way we met. Well, you're an herbalist,
Right.
and that's really really cool. Why don't you tell me about what an herbalist is?
So for me, I always tell people in short, an
Mm-hmm.
herbalist is someone who is dedicating their life to plants, plant medicine, educating and healing others with it.
Yeah, and
That is all.
how did you get to become an herbalist?
Well, me personally, I got into herbalism back in 2014. I got a gum abscess, is what it is. I had to heal myself.
Mm-hmm.
I learned about essential oils. It was clove oil. Clove oil was used to numb the gums, alleviate pain in the mouth, and I learned about oil pulling,
Mm-hmm.
which is just a holistic practice you can use. It's really good for cleansing your mouth, cleaning your teeth. Anyway, I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
afford to go to the dentist.
Yeah.
So I found this remedy. And yeah, after I did the remedy, because I had this gum abscess for weeks and
Mm-hmm.
it was horrible. 3 days later of swishing this, doing this oil pulling, and I was like, yeah, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Now I'm about to tell everyone about this, but it was
Uh,
like life changing. It was like a switch for me. I was like,
yeah.
whoa.
Because now you have your own business.
Right.
Tell me what you do, what Nature Made Me is all about.
So Nature Made Me it's a lifestyle company. It's
Mm-hmm.
a home brand. I want to be in all the with all the families,
Mm-hmm.
but I make herbal remedies, tea blends specifically. Those are my favorite to make. I want to make medicine that feels familiar and that's easy to take. I also am a doula. I do gardening and urban farming. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I also specialize, or not think, I specialize in herbal oil infusions as well. So I do like skincare, body butters, herbal oils, all of the things.
Yeah, all of the things. I've been to
All
the
of the
shop.
things.
It's pretty incredible. I love you have such a to me I was immediately drawn to the teas and you have like such a variety of them and they all do different things.
Yeah, so at this point, I like to say I specialize in teas. I'm the tea guru,
Yeah,
you
tea
know.
guru. I like that.
I love making teas
uh,
and I want them to taste good, but I want them to be effective. So, as an herbalist, personally, I'm what you would consider an eclectic herbalist. I work with the energies of the herbs. So, when I'm creating a blend, it's really, really important for me that the herbs work well together
mhm,
so that they can work well for you to get or for you.
mhm,
So, how I explain that to people is that there are, let's say, 100 herbs that are good for cold and flu, or if you had a fever. There's probably 100 herbs Google would give you that you could take.
mhm.
So when we're making a blend, we want it to be effective. So we go, look, is this what we it's like I will talk forever about the herbs.
Yeah, no, please.
When we're making a blend, we want the energies and the herbs to work well together.
Mhm,
So you wouldn't want to put, let's say, for example, there's cooling herbs, there's um, drying herbs, there's moistening herbs,
mhm.
balancing. Um, so if I'm making a blend, I don't want to put the drying herb with the moistening herb because it's going to cancel,
Right.
right? So then it doesn't work. And then people are like, well, herbs don't work. And I'm like, well, maybe it just wasn't made right.
Right.
Maybe you didn't have a herbalist blending it for you and you
Yeah.
were on Google. But yeah.
So yeah, like tell me a little bit because you were saying how the herbs blend and how they like kind of, they make they make the blend. But yeah, what does that like process look like when you're blending herbs?
So like from I guess a medicinal standpoint of how you're going to create a blend, you have like your key herb. So you have your main herb, the main character that is going to be doing the heavy duty, the main work. So then you have to decide what you want this blend to do and how you want it to work. So I want to make a blend that is going to be moistening, so it's going to add moisture back into the tissues and back into the body, but it also is going to help with getting rid of mucus.
Mm-hmm.
So it also expels mucus. So this is good for someone who has like a really, really dry cough,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm thinking about what it is that I want to heal, or I want to help you with. So I'm thinking about my supporting character or my main character, and then you have your supporting character, supporting herbs.
Mm-hmm.
So a good blend really can have 4 herbs, 5 herbs, and this is an effective blend. So you don't want to put too many things in to where the main active ingredient is canceling each other out. You want to just support this main character to do its job the best way that it can. So when I'm creating blends, that's what I'm thinking about. So then I'm thinking about energetics. This is a moistening and a moistening blend. So I wouldn't get, ginger, or I wouldn't get a drying herb that would cancel all of that out.
Yeah.
Because my point is to help you with the dry cough. So we're going to add the moisture back in, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
But that's how I make blends.
Yeah.
Think about what I want to do, how I want to do it, and how all the herbs can work together to support each other and then you.
Mm-hmm. That is so incredible. And you know this stuff so well. I could just the way you're so confident in the way you're talking about this right now. You're completely self-educated, aren't you? And
I am.
yeah.
So right now I have been blessed with the opportunity to attend a herbal school, but yeah, that started this year.
Really?
Yes. So
What does an herbal school look like?
I am attending Prairie Wise Herbal School,
Uh-huh.
and it is a local school. It's here in Kansas City, Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
based out of the Leah Center.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm doing year 1 and 2 all at once.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-year program.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like me going to class on Saturday and Sunday
Uh-huh.
for a few hours. But it's amazing. You know, the year one is giving you like the basics of what you would need to know to feel comfortable.
Mhm.
But year two is more, we're going into the body systems, you know, and how the herbs are affecting the tissues and the muscles. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's super amazing.
Do you keep like, so in the process of like teaching you, because it's so much information, there's so many herbs, right?
Oh, yeah.
And like, do you you must have like a journal or something that you're keeping track of this in?
Yes. So we call that the materia medica.
Okay, the materia medica.
Yes. So this is your collection
Mhm.
of herbs and what they do and how you've used them and your experiences with them. Um, and this is something that most herbalists are going to have and going to hold near and dear to
Mhm.
them. And that's how you are actually being able to keep track of what the herbs are doing. On top of that, I have journals on journals on
Yeah, I
journals.
bet.
Um,
It's been 7 years?
yeah,
7 years? Yeah, wow.
it's been a while.
Uh-huh.
So, I found the notebook from 2016,
Yeah.
and just like when I was first getting started and I was
Uh-huh.
like doing an online class.
Right.
So, to see the progression and the growth is
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah. So, like, on top of you being, I mean, pretty much a community doctor, you're also an entrepreneur because you have your own, you have your business, Nature Made Me.
Yes.
When did that come into the picture compared to,
Just
studying to be,
starting.
yeah, starting?
Maybe after studying for 3 years, I got
Mm-hmm.
my LLC in the very, very end of 2017.
Uh-huh.
Um, I want to say I really started selling products heavily in 2019. But yeah, I got into what is called Harvest Moon.
Mm-hmm.
It's another herb store. It's a women's collective.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds familiar.
And yeah, but before that, it was called Soul Centricity.
Uh-huh.
And that was just another tea shop and women's collective.
Okay.
But she created space for small micro entrepreneurs and business owners and just holistic wild women, to
Uh-huh.
come together and learn more and develop their products and develop what we were doing. So when I very first kind of got started, that's where I was.
Mm.
And I'm grateful for that experience because I was around so many other women like me and we were able to just grow together and learn so much
Yeah.
from each other.
Yeah.
So,
Tell me more about that experience. That sounds awesome.
yeah, it was a women's collective.
Uh-huh.
So, Soul Centricity, even the name itself spoke to me. This was a tea shop. And at this time, back at that time, I had just got it started. So, I was out trying to hustle my teas,
Uh-huh.
and people weren't really receptive to teas, especially as medicine.
Uh-huh.
So, being able to find this group of women and just being the creative energy, um, I was an herbalist, but there were like spiritualists. We had a lady who was she's called a womb warrior. That's what
Uh-huh.
she's calling
A
herself
womb
now.
warrior. Wow.
Right? A
I
womb
love that.
warrior. And she's all into women's health.
Uh-huh.
A homeopath we had there. I didn't know anything about homeopathy or listen.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about that, but
Uh-huh.
learning about that, like the granddaddy of vaccinations,
Uh-huh.
it's an amazing
I
experience.
know nothing about that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, what?
it changed my life.
Uh-huh.
Learning about meditation and
Uh-huh.
just being in these group experiences with these women.
Yeah. That sounds incredible.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was. It is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a lot of these women are still my friends still today, and
Yeah.
we're all still entrepreneurs, and we have our businesses. So,
Uh-huh.
um, it kind of just changed life for me, my way of life. I now have this group of women who are into the same things that I am in,
Yeah.
and you have to surround yourself with people who are doing what you are wanting to do and doing what you're doing. So that definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah. How did you find them? You just stumble in?
I had, you got a cousin that
Uh-huh.
be doing stuff, and she's like, "Hey, girl, come on."
Uh-huh.
That's the
Okay.
womb
Yeah.
warrior.
Yeah. Okay. Word of mouth.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
word of mouth.
Uh-huh.
So that really did help me just develop because I was around herbs
Yeah.
a lot. I started devoting a lot of time to that shop.
Uh-huh.
So that helped. That helped a lot. Nature Made Me just took off. So for me doing events, people not wanting my tea,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what can I do to get these people to want to drink some tea? And I created Fruity Tooty.
Fruity Tooty.
Fruity Tooty Tea. Fruity Tooty Tea. It's a multivitamin and energy boosting tea. And it tastes like fruit punch.
Okay.
Right? So that was my game changer. So I will never forget. I was out on 18th and Vine doing a First Friday. This is still, I'm really early in the game, 2019. I've been out here maybe twice before.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I'm like, I'm back.
Yeah, the tea lady.
The tea lady is back, and I got a sample.
Mm-hmm.
Come try this tea, and it tastes amazing.
Yeah, it tastes like fruit punch.
It tastes like fruit punch, and it's medicine. It's good for you.
Yeah, that is a game changer.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that took off.
It took off. Fruity Tooty Tea. People were like, "Where is the tea? We want the Tooty Tea. Where's the tea lady?"
How'd you get it to taste like fruit punch? Was it?
It's the herbs. So it's a fruit tea blend, right? So it's hibiscus. It has some orange peels, lemon balm, lemon verbena, lemongrass, which are all 3 lemon tasting herbs. I have like cranberries in there, raisins. We got all the fruits. Okay, any fruit possible. I was like, you're going in.
Yeah.
This is made with love. I love you. Please drink this. But
man, I want some. I'm like, did you bring any?
Listen, don't. Now I feel bad. I just sold a gallon today.
Okay, great.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
People are calling like, I need a gallon of tea. Why is this not in the store? I'm like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's good if you're selling it by the gallon.
Yeah. Someone one day was just like, I don't want to make it. I want you to make it.
I want 3 weeks of reserves.
I get it. I'm like, put some in the freezer, it'll be ready.
Yeah.
It'll stay good.
Okay, I definitely got to try this.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
See, look, coming soon.
Yeah, I will. Speaking of, where are you located?
So, I am on 39th in Indiana, 3906.
Yeah.
Indiana Avenue, Kansas City, Missouri. It is the old firehouse.
Right. It's got the golden gates.
Yes. So when you come there, I know you're gonna be looking, but there's the golden gate. I want you to follow the alleyway, and you will enter the garden.
Yep.
And you will find me.
Yeah. You just park in that Family General across the street.
You can park in the Family Dollars. There's plenty of space there.
Yeah, Family Dollars. Yeah.
Right. Walk right across the street.
Yeah. You go back there. I remember because the first time I walked, I stumbled upon your place because there's a psychic here who's every Saturday. Her name's Janet Planet. But I don't think you guys have ever met. But yeah, I just like talked to her, and she had like a psychic moment and recommended me in like an herbalist store. And I think I got the name wrong or something, but I pulled up your store, which it was on a Sunday, and I think you guys you told me later that you guys are closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
But I pulled up anyway, and you were having a whole event back there.
Yes.
In your garden back there. And it was so cool. Like, just like the odds of me like stumbling in this place was...
I've always thought that was like just alignment. Like that was crazy because normally I'm closed on Sunday and I have it closed on Google. So normally you would have went on where it would have said closed. You would have been like, eh. But for the event, I was like, oh, let me put open on Google.
Yeah.
You didn't know anything about that event.
I had no idea there was a whole event. So I feel like I've seen your space at like its peak, like at one of its highest moments. Like so many cool people were back there, and so much was going on. What? Tell me more about that event.
So yes, the day that you came, we were hosting the first ever. It was the Black Metaphysical Fair.
Yeah.
I've been a part of metaphysical fairs for 3 or 4 years now in Kansas City, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna throw one in my section of the city, you know. And so I brought in the name of that event. Let me start there. It was called Uplift, and Uplift is an annual event. So we did our second Uplift this year as well. But the purpose is just to bring love and unity and upliftment to a blighted area in Kansas City. And I wanted to bring in several modalities of healing. So we had tarot readers. We had massage therapy, chiropractors. We had so many different things. Energy healers. Then we had the herbalists there, multiple herbalists. that event was amazing, you know. And so for you to come there and be able to witness that in itself,
Yeah.
and for you to just, I don't know, all of it to me was like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that's the one and only metaphysical fair I've ever been to. I didn't even know you just said metaphysical fair, and that's like the first time I've ever heard of anything like that. No, so that's like really, that's really cool. Yeah, I just remember walking back there and being like, "What am I like?
What is this?
Yeah, what is this? Who's in charge here? I need to talk to you." Yeah.
Well, and it was also to uplift all the local businesses and local entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So we also had a variety of businesses, small businesses. I mean, as someone who got started vending events, I wanted to create an event where these businesses could come and be supported and uplifted.
Yeah.
Especially people who are offering healing resources to our community. Just a discovery of each other type situation, you know, because a lot of people had never been to or heard about a metaphysical fair before either.
Yeah.
Or if they had maybe a preconceived, you know, conception in their head of what it was. And so I wanted to show them that no, I don't know what you think, but this is what it is, you know.
Right.
So Uplift was amazing, and we've decided to continue doing it because it was, as you can see, it was jumping.
Yeah,
you know,
it was a hit.
They were loving it,
Yeah.
and it's something that they want. They're like, "Can you do this every weekend?"
Yeah, right.
Maybe not every weekend, but.
Did you organize that whole event?
So it was me, and I had two sisters
Okay.
that helped me. One of their names is Kilo, and her brand is Kilo Cares. And then the other one is Nicolette Rich with Enrich Yourself. And she is an energy healer. Kilo is an herbalist as well. What's really cool about me and Kilo is me and Kilo share the same birthday, but she is 8 years older than me. And so it's super interesting being around her with, I think we have the same moon and like sun sign. February the 13th is our birthdays. She's an Aquarius, or she's an herbalist, and she's been doing this long before I ever thought about it, right? And we met years after I've been an herbalist. So it was just like, huh?
Talk about alignment.
Alignment.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And Enrich Yourself. She's an energy healer, Nicolette. And she was into the metaphysical scene as well. And we just wanted to do it. I couldn't do it all by myself. I'm like, please help me. I would love, I have this vision, but it takes a team for sure. So.
Would you say she's like somewhat of a mentor to you?
Kilo?
Yeah, Kilo.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So I haven't really said this yet.
Okay.
I'm going to say it here. So I am now the host of the Every Woman Show on the 90.1 KKFI.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Congratulations. Wow, that you've never said that out loud.
No, I haven't told anyone yet. My first show is on Saturday.
On Saturday?
This Saturday.
Oh my gosh, breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
So, and I'm interviewing Kilo.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like when is that? Do you know at all when that's going to air or
I don't know when it's going to air. I know it turns around pretty quick. I was a guest once. And it turned around really quickly. But I will send you a message.
Yeah, please do.
Even that happening was amazing, you know. I was able to go on that show and talk about my brand and my business with another herbalist. And yeah, she just called me and was like, you know, I'm moving and I really thought you were cool on the show, and would you like to host the show? I'm like, well, yeah, of course.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. I said I wanted to do more speaking engagements, and now here we are.
And wow. So you were just talking about that before we press record about how you just speak things into existence.
And it's just seemingly happening, you know. So I'm.
Have you done anything like that before?
Like radio show hosting?
Yeah, radio show hosting.
No.
Wow.
I've been on a few podcasts.
You're gonna be great. Just from this, I can tell you're gonna be great.
You know, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm excited. I got stuff to talk about, and I want to empower other small businesses and women, like she did for me. She gave me that opportunity and that platform.
Yeah.
I got business from it. People came into my store. I met a holistic naturopathic doctor. You know, I'm like, from them listening into the show. So I want to uplift women in the same way. So
that's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, you do so many amazing things for the community. I mean, just to go back to Uplift, I mean, you're a community garden as well as an herbalist. Like, what is that like, that process of maintaining a garden for the
Ah,
community?
yes.
Yeah.
So this year, I was blessed to become the community garden manager of the Ivanhoe Neighborhood Council Community Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the biggest garden I've ever managed. I also managed the Peace Garden for the Uzazi Village Maternal Health Center, Birth Center.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it takes a lot of work. It is hands on,
Mm-hmm.
every single day. We are out there early in the morning watering. Plants are alive. Okay.
Yeah.
They do not play. They need attention. They
Yeah.
need love. They need water. They need food, you know. But I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I got into growing food back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because I learned about GMOs. And I was like, hmm, well, I guess I'll just grow my own food then,
Mm-hmm. Right.
But managing the garden has been one of the most beautiful experiences that I've had. So we have created an initiative called Harvest Day. And so Harvest Day started in May, and the last one was just on Halloween. It was every Tuesday from 9 to 12 in the garden. I gave away the produce that I grew.
Mm-hmm.
And the community came out and they were able to learn about vegetables that they may have never seen, like the eggplant. Right, eggplants are beautiful, but it was so funny me trying to get people to take the eggplant home, and they're just like, "What do I do with it?" It's real cute, but like,
Uh-huh.
how do I eat this? And so, getting to educate people on vegetables and sharing recipes, and I want to say Harvest Day we gave away. I think we counted giving away over 500 pounds of vegetables
Wow.
to over 300 people, over 400 people.
Wow. When is Harvest Day?
It was every Tuesday from 9 to 12. Now, it's winter. We are
Uh,
closing down the garden. I do need volunteers for that.
uh,
But yeah, what that
oh,
showed me, was that this is needed.
yeah.
The people want this, they need this. And they were so happy. Food is expensive. Organic produce is expensive.
Yep.
So to have a resource where hey, every week I can go here. She's gonna have greens. She got
Mm-hmm.
cabbage. She got green beans. We got apple trees. We
Yeah.
were giving away all of this food, and it's amazing. I feel great.
Yeah. I mean, you should. That you should be really proud of yourself. Like, that's a real feat. I mean, just you talking about how, now that I think about it, I'm like, what would I do with an eggplant?
Right?
Like, and that's a whole nother level of educating people on not only what to eat, but like how to eat it.
How to eat it. I'm telling people about baba ganoush and the eggplant lasagna, and I'm like, you have options. Eat the vegetables.
Have you worked in a garden outside of an urban environment?
No.
Okay, so would you know if it's there's differences in urban growing than say more rural?
Yes. So the main thing, or how like the urban gardening kind of got its name, is because you're in a space where you may not have a lot of space to grow, and you have to be creative. You might have to grow in a different kind of way. So like at Nature Made Me, right? I don't have any soil, so I'm growing in tires
Mm-hmm.
and I'm growing in straw. Versus in a traditional rural setting, you have land.
Right.
So you work the land and you grow the land.
Mm-hmm.
In the urban settings, we're in the city. Or you might be in your backyard. You might be in an apartment. So you don't have the land.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't have the same experience as someone who worked a farm, a
Right.
traditional farm. I'm here growing for folks who might not really have space to grow.
Yeah.
I'm here to show you that no matter what, you can do it. That's how I'm growing.
Yeah. I always look around. I'm always looking around, and I feel like noticing how much concrete is around us, how little space there is for any vegetation, let alone a garden.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what I did was I learned about the straw bale gardening.
Mm.
I mean, I feel like any business could sit a straw bale right outside and plant food and grow in it and go right on the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
The water would just sweep on down the concrete. It'll dry up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just an option.
What is straw bale gardening?
So straw bale gardening is when you are growing out of a straw bale, literally. And I found it because I was researching on how I could utilize more space because I was like a crazy pot lady with like 50 pots outside. Yeah. I was like that. So, I mean, I'm still like that. All my pots are growing.
Yeah.
But
that's a vibe.
Yeah. So it was just like, I'm like, all right, I'm not buying more pots.
Yeah. At least you're not the pan lady.
No. Nope.
I'm just playing. If there's a pan lady,
she's out there with all her pans.
Yeah, no shade.
Like, forget you.
I'm never coming on that podcast.
Shade. No, I was trying to research on how I could like just have more space, and I was going to use the straw and like create an enclosure and put a whole bunch of dirt in the middle and just grow in the middle.
Okay.
I didn't even think about like growing in the straw at first, but as I'm researching, I wish I had the book in his name, but there's a guy who like created this straw bale method and I forgot his name, but yeah.
So are you putting the soil in the straw, or do you need soil?
You don't necessarily need soil at all.
What?
Right. So you have to, what it is condition this straw. So I fed my straw blood meal and bone meal, which are plant foods, organic plant foods, high in nitrogen, high in phosphorus. And I did that for, I think it was 10 days. And I had to water it. You had to water them like at least a gallon worth of water every day. So for 10 days, I'm out there, I'm feeding it the stuff, I'm watering it. On about the 10th, 11th day, I noticed that mushrooms start like popping out of my straw. So I'm like, okay. So now they're like, give it a balanced fertilizer. So I just went to the store, got a 10-10-10 fertilizer, organic. That's how I'm growing. But whatever you can afford to do, you can do. And did that for 2 more days. And they were like, yeah, it should be ready to go. All you got to do is take a little bit of the straw out. If you have an established plant, like a seedling, straw out, plant in, pack the straw back around it, and you're growing.
Wow.
Now, if you wanted to do seeds, then you would get like a thin layer of dirt, put that on top, and you plant your seeds. Cover it back up, water it, and it's going to grow. But that's it.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That changes everything
Changes the game.
Because I mean, a bay of hay bale.
Yeah.
It doesn't take up any space, or not much at all.
Not much, and you got 3 cubic feet of growing space, and you can grow so much. I'm like, in a cubic foot, you can grow like 12 green bean plants, or like 9 green bean plants, and green bean plants each are going to give you like 20 green beans. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got food. You're growing food. Well, you grow a tomato plant in the middle. Listen, my experience with tomato plants this year, you need one. Just grow one.
Okay. This is insider knowledge.
This is insider knowledge, Kansas City. We don't all have to grow tomatoes.
Is there an arms race for tomatoes?
There are so many tomatoes. This year, I literally made pasta sauce. I made marinara sauce.
Yeah.
I made salsa. I pickled tomatoes. I mean, I had tomatoes.
Yeah.
Over my head. I had so much.
Yeah.
It was real.
Wow. So, on top of being an herbalist and an entrepreneur and a community gardener, you're also a mother.
I am.
Yeah.
I am a mother.
How do you do it?
I am a mother to 2 beautiful children, a 9-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son. And I am homeschooling these babies.
Wow.
And
so add teacher to the list.
Teacher is it. And I like it, though. I like homeschooling, because this is, it's making me learn. So we're talking my memory. It's kind of like nostalgia a little bit, I'm like, I remember the bar graph with the key. I'm teaching her like, okay, so we were just doing math. They had the bar graph with the key, and now we're doing geography. Look, there's your key again. Let's remember our resources and how to use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been teaching them, what you've been learning with herbalism
As far
and
as, oh
stuff?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, I'm always quizzing my daughter. We're out in the garden. I'm like, name 3 herbs now that's growing. What's that? Chocolate mint.
Oh my
I'm like, that's
gosh.
right. Oh
Wow.
yeah.
She's gonna be when she grows up, she's gonna be something, huh?
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, like what are you gonna be? And my
Uh,
son, yeah, he just eats herbs straight out the
right.
garden. He knows what stuff is.
Yeah.
He'll make a mix in his hand. He'll go get a chocolate mint, a stevia leaf, an orange mint. I'm like, is this chocolate covered orange?
Uh-huh.
What is this? And he just eats it all. Like, yeah. Like, wow.
uh-huh.
I,
Have you noticed anything about like, raising kids on a more natural diet?
well, I mean, my son, I really am impressed. Like, he's so just healthy. Same
Mm-hmm.
for my daughter. Now, my daughter is definitely one of my like testimony stories.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she was diagnosed with asthma at 1 year old.
Wow.
She was actually hospitalized and after her first birthday for 9 days.
Oh, that's really scary.
Yeah, it was very, very scary. She couldn't breathe and she couldn't catch her breath. So my daughter, after that, was going to the emergency room at least once a year, at least, for her asthma, uncontrolled asthma.
Wow.
In her 4th year life, I discovered cedarwood oil, and that is something that really changed the game for her. I'll never forget. She was having an attack. I had her on her nebulizer, and she's wheezing, and I'm doing everything I can for her, but for whatever reason, normally everything is put away. There's this one essential oil sitting on top of the counter, and I decide to look at it. I'm walking past, and I look at the oil, and it has like a rhyme on the oil,
Mm-hmm.
and it says, "In times of respiratory distress, rub this on your chest."
Wow.
I'm like, okay. And take it up to my daughter, and I rub it on her chest.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, less than an hour, maybe 20 minutes, she comes downstairs. And she's been laying around all day. She's on the nebulizer. She didn't took the thing off. She didn't stretch. She didn't came downstairs. She's like, I feel better. I'm like,
That's
are you for real? Like stuff is this simple. It can be this easy. You mean everything we need is really, really here.
mm-hmm.
There's a cedarwood tree growing somewhere right now. And all we needed was the oil.
That's magic.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. How it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the newer oils I bought,
Uh-huh.
Maybe I can't explain it.
That's incredible. What an amazing story. And have she been suffering any symptoms?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
She has not. She has not been ever back to the emergency room.
Oh my gosh. How old is she now?
9.
Wow.
It has been, what is that, 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
My baby has never been back to the emergency room.
That is
or
a
asthma attack or
testimony right
anything.
there.
Like,
That's incredible. Do you ever feel like a little bit of a magician in those times? I mean,
it's
that's a potion, right?
It's crazy. It's like really like what is really like unbelievable, every time. And I always just, because I tell people these stories and they're like, what? You're so dope. And I'm like, no, like the herbs are already here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm grateful that I stumbled on this path and found this knowledge and was intrigued and infatuated with them enough to continue. And I'm still in love with herbs.
Yeah.
That's a question I get all the time. Like, what keeps you going? I'm like, it's the herbs. Learning about a new herb and what it can do for you is always going to draw me in,
Right. And it's like I've seen it all the time, but everything we need is here. I've seen that. I forget. I was reading some book about this, but like they were talking about how you wake up in the morning, and you just wake up. It's not like you need something to like wake up. You just breathe the air.
Yeah, you just do it. You just, all right, we're back.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like there's so much pressure on like attaining things that we are taught that we need, but we don't really need. But I don't know, like that story right there. I mean, you go to the hospital how many like months out of a year, and they can't do anything for you.
Right.
And then a little bit of oil from a tree, and all of a sudden your child is 9 years old.
Exactly. And has never been back. And it's like she was going to the hospital, but they were just putting her on a machine.
Yeah.
And they weren't really helping. They weren't doing anything. So like, yeah.
Do you have any, because you're so hands-on, do you have any vision for like what the future might hold for you, your business, but also like community and how we feed ourselves, how we heal ourselves, how we talk about medicine, how we talk about food?
Oh yeah. I feel like I kind of have honed in on like what would be my ultimate thing I would want to do. And I told people I would be like a quintiles or a quest. I want to test the herbs. I want to do the work. I want to run the tests, do the science, or whatever it is I need to do to prove that this works. So I need some people to come in. I need you to do this regimen, how I need you to do it. Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Is literally back up my herbs. I say that, this passion flower is good for stress and anxiety. It will help quiet your mental chatter. It will help quiet your racing thoughts. So let's prove it.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
You want to heal people.
Yes.
Yeah. So come get healed.
Yes, really. That would be like my ultimate. Like, I'm kind of like, I don't want to say old, because I don't want to say I have to be old to be retired, but, like, I'm good. My business is running itself. It's managing itself. Everybody's good. Now I can go and do this.
Right. And in a day and age where it feels like, anytime you experience anything that is discomfort or, you think you need medical attention, you're almost always prescribed some kind of pill or medicine. As medicine, you're prescribed pills. And I know so many people that's just like not working, and they find themselves just bouncing from one medication to the other until it's like they don't even know what normal feels like anymore.
Right.
Yeah, and I see herbalism as like something to turn to, something that actually, could change, not just, it could change your entire life.
It could change your whole life.
Yeah, and it could open up everything that you didn't even know was there.
I agree. I completely feel like Nature Made Me is an alternative brand. Like, when you're ready to find something else, you're ready to try something else, that's what Nature Made Me is here for. To give you access to those items, give you access to education on it and why it's working for you, or how it works, or why this one didn't work for you. I like to tell people, I love to do a consultation. Let's figure out what type of person you are so that we can actually get the blend work right the first time.
Right.
Because that goes back into the energetics of the herbs. All of us are different. That's why there's so many different herbs that can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because we got to find the one that's for you. So.
Wow. Beautifully said. If anyone is wanting to get a hold of you, where can they find you?
So you can find me on everything at Nature Made Me. You can also, so that's Facebook, that's Instagram. You can also find me at Rosie the Herbalist on Facebook. www.naturemademellc.com is my website. My storefront is at 3906 Indiana. If you put me in Google, Nature Made Me, that will send you there. It gives you my phone number, gives you my address, and my website. So.
Wow. Thank you so much for being on. Thank you so much for your time. Let's get you back to your babies.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Amazing. All right. I'm going to end it there. Sweet.